Well, of course, it's a great night. We're so thrilled. We just started off being so happy this afternoon that our guys have made it to the championship. Excuse me. I was a little worried about the pressure that might have put on the team after that because, and again, I've never seen a group so happy when our men won that game. We were back at the hotel trying to get our minds right for the game, but we were so thrilled, and so then we had to go back and refocus on our game. And the way the game went, we jumped out to a lead. Our game plan to push the ball up the floor and to pressure them man-to-man defense. We got away from that game plan the second time we played them. We went to a zone trying to keep the ball out of 44's hands, and they kind of ate us up on the perimeter. So we went back to our man-to-man defense. I think my team has improved in a man-to-man defense tremendously. We do not even look like the same team. Defense has been our weakness. It's been our Achilles heel throughout the season in man-to-man situations, and we really did a good job tonight. Their three-point shooters couldn't look at the goal. Of course, they made some runs in the game like great teams do. They made a few great runs. But again, behind our seniors, we didn't falter. We got right back in it, stayed with the game plan. We never really adjusted. The only thing we adjusted was we started the game in a zone press, and we went back into a man non-trapping press to try to stop fouling. I thought they were going to get the upper hand on us just from the free throw line, but we were able to stop fouling so much and keep them off the line a little bit and sway the game in our favor.
This time we'll take questions for the coach. Once again, please wait for a microphone and identify yourself by name and media outlet. Any questions?
Okay.
My name's Kevin Cushenberry. I'm from the UTA Shorthorn, the student newspaper.
Hi, Kevin.
All I was going to ask is the number 1 and 2 seeds on the men's and women's side are out of the tournament now. What does that say about the strength of the Sun Belt?
I think it definitely says something that I've noticed since I've been in the Sun Belt, that teams get better and better throughout the year. Teams get better and better and better. UALR lost tonight, our number 1 seed. They're still a great basketball team. They still have the Conference Player of the Year on their team, and she looked like it even up until tonight. But the situation is that these coaches in the Sun Belt are developers. They develop their talent year in and year out. We don't always get the All-American first-round pick. Those might go to an SEC school most of the time. But what Joe Foley and Coach Gerlich and those coaches are, they're developers of talent. And so you see teams get better and better, and that's what I think you've seen in this tournament.
Question up to the front left.
Samuel Hale, UTA Radio. Coach, you had a lot of success down low running your bigger forwards against Van Dyke, where they just only had one big on UTA. Was that something you had planned on, or is that just kind of how the game plan developed and you just kind of went with it?
Yes, again, the first time we played them when we had some success, we tried to, I guess you'd say, pick on the fact that they're really running 4 guards in there. And we went high-low from post to post a lot in that game. We had a lot of success in that. Second game, we didn't get it as much. We really tried to, back at the hotel and using the room for a film room, we really tried to show that. And Coach Graff did our scout this game, and she really wanted them to get that kind of, again, use that to our advantage that we had 2 bigs in the game. So we've done that in some games, and it worked to our disadvantage. We have to take one big out and run another guard. But against UTA, that seemed to be a good number to dial.
You guys had over 150 rebounds in the 2 games leading up to this. Obviously, you guys are a bigger team, so that's going to happen. But have you ever seen a 2-game stretch for y'all where you've had that many rebounds, had so much success inside?
No, but I've prayed for it. No, we've never had that many in a 2-game stretch. But, one thing I told the team before both of these games, I had the same pregame speech before both games. The team that actually steps away from their coaches now and does the most thing their coaches have been telling them to do all season are the ones that are going to win this tournament. The coaches there's really not much we're doing out there at this point. It feels like it, but it's not. The things they've heard all year: rebound, block out, rebound, run the floor, shoot quick. They're if they don't internalize that now, we're not winning. But they happen to be internalizing it now at the right time, and rebounding has been our number 1 thing all year.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow.
All righty.
Well, congratulations to Troy. Obviously, they were the better team tonight, no doubt. And I think Coach Rigby does such a great job with her girls and just getting them ready to play. And they very much were, I think, senior-led and definitely on a mission tonight. they're an incredible basketball team, and particularly on the boards. I mean, I think they do such a great job. They're so strong and deep, and they just crash the boards really, really well. I thought that from the tip, particularly the first 3 or 4 minutes, they set the tone. I mean, and we tried really hard to convince our kids not to try to play with them like that, try not to play their game. And I know it's difficult because of the way they play, not to take early shots in the shot clock, and to not get post touches because they're so wide open on the three-point line. But that's just not our style of play, and we really have to work the basketball and get post touches and execute our offense, and we just struggled with that all night long, not just the first 3 or 4 minutes, but I thought the first 3 minutes really set the tone, and it was difficult for us to kind of get it back under control. I thought that at halftime we had kind of weathered a little bit of the storm. It didn't feel like it really, but we were down 10, I think, or 12. I think we were down 12. And that's within reach on Troy, because Troy's going to keep doing what Troy does. And so they're going to keep shooting the basketball. And if you can get them where you can rebound it some, you have a chance to come back on them. But I just felt like they shot the ball really well tonight, and we didn't do a very good job keeping them off the board. So just disappointed in us not following our game plan, disappointed for our kids because we've come such a long ways. But obviously, I kudos to Troy. I thought they did a nice job tonight.
Thanks, Coach. This time we'll take questions for Rebecca. If anyone has any, please wait for the microphone and identify yourself once again.
Kevin Cushionberry, UTA Shorthorn. Rebecca, I saw you kind of leading the huddle out of halftime. I don't know, what were you telling your team?
I was just kind of telling them that we still can get in it, that we still need to continue to play hard, and we need to play our basketball instead of Troy's basketball. And I just wanted to give them some hope and just kind of motivate them to keep working hard and keep doing it. And we've come back from more than a 12-point deficit before, so we definitely could have done it again.
And then another thing, I noticed that the team's shooting shirts said, "What's your why?" on them. What's been your why this season?
I think definitely one of my big whys is definitely playing for my dad. I think one of his favorite things to do was watch us play basketball, and so, I think he's got the best spot in the house now. So.
Any further questions for Rebecca? Thank you very much. You can head back to the locker room. We'll go ahead with questions for Coach at this time.
Samuel Hale, UTA Radio Coach. Obviously, that one didn't quite go as well as you'd planned. And I'm just kind of curious, you see the game progress where you talk about like at halftime, you're at 12, and it feels kind of like gainable. As a coach, you kind of showed frustrated to just not sure what to do. As a coach, and Coach Rigby said in the previous press conference, you just kind of go out there and you've got to hope the game plan gets executed and get things done. As a coach, what are you doing in a game like that, and mentally and just trying to prepare the players when the deficit just seems to keep growing and there's just nothing seems to be working?
Yeah. I think you try really hard to prepare your kids well. This time of year, it is about what they do on the court. They're the ones that have to execute it, and you're not really changing a lot of things. You just try to direct them in the direction that will help them most benefit from, whatever it is that Troy does best. You only have so many timeouts, and you really, I really wanted to call, and that might be the second time all year that I've called 2 in the first half. But you got to just I just wanted to settle my kids more than anything. I just wanted to settle them and try to get them to really understand it's okay, and I know they have lots of nerves, lots of, adrenaline pumping, all those things. But they just got to really be more disciplined and be more focused on what we're trying to do and determined to execute it. And you just keep trying. You try different rotations. You try different offenses, obviously different defenses. But on a team like Troy, once you let them out of the gates, it's a little bit tough to get back in it, especially because it's difficult for us to press them, because I think they do such a good job in it. The press is a big part of our game.
Obviously, at halftime, y'all came out with just about the second half about to start. Was that a tactical move by you? Because obviously, Troy started taking warm-ups, and y'all just came out, huddled, and started the game. Was that a decision by the players, by you and the coaches, or was there some sort of method behind that?
Well, we were trying to figure it out in the timeout. In the dressing room. It was just a matter of we had a lot to talk about and not enough time to talk about it. And I think we had ran enough in the first half. I don't not really think we needed to be that much warmer.
For you, Coach, the number 1 and number 2 seeds from the men's and women's side are out of the tournament now. What does that say about the strength of the Sun Belt Conference?
I mean, I do think it shows the parity in the conference and what a strong conference it is. And, you know, we actually talked to our girls before the game about we felt like the 4 best teams, and obviously I think Texas State deserved to be in that as well, were playing in the semifinals. And we had kind of shown that throughout the conference. And but I do think that it's a situation where you got to show up every night. And when it gets to be conference tournament time and postseason, it's anybody's ball game. And that's one of the things I think that is good about the conference tournament changing to where everybody comes, is all teams qualify, is because it gives every team an opportunity to develop late, maybe if they're late bloomers, or gives them a second chance to get hot, and that's what it's all about. I mean, you got to be playing your best basketball at the right time, and it's the team that can be the most confident. You know, and I think you see it on the men's team too, men's side too. It's tough. I mean, Division I basketball is no joke. I mean, it's a tough situation.
Last thing, Asia, I know towards the end of the year she started to get more and more playing time, and she showed some things in this tournament. Kind of what's the team's outlook moving forward, I guess?
Well, I mean, I think we have a great nucleus of returners. I mean, obviously we're losing Allie Teo and Brett Clark, and both of those kids come off the bench for us. They're huge for us on so many levels. I mean, I can't say enough about Allie Teo and what she's done for our program for 4 years on and off the court, and her leadership will be greatly missed. And the same goes with Breck. But we have a great group coming back, and the fact that we had 7 new players this year and this is their first tournament experience, you know, I think they definitely know what it's all about now, and will be focused on returning and moving into the championship game next year.
Thank you very much, Coach.